Okay, I'm sure many of you have already read or heard some of the reports about the potential change in kickoff times for the upcoming 2026 World Cup in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. It says games are expected to be moved later in the day to avoid afternoon kickoff times that saw extreme heats in this summer's Club World Cup. Likely, FIFA will schedule games after midnight UK time. So if you're out on the East Coast, midnight would be 7 p.m. EST. If you're on the West Coast, 4 p.m. PST, and so on. Um, Obviously, temperatures are getting warmer and warmer every year. Climate is what it is. We change with the times. Um, there are some teams, European teams mainly, that aren't too used to playing one during the day and maybe two during the heat of the day. Thankfully, a lot of the stadiums, I shouldn't say a lot, some of the stadiums in the World Cup in North America will be domed. SoFi is domed. Arlington, Dallas is domed. I'm sure there's one or two more that are domed that I'm missing here. The final will not be domed. That's in MetLife in New Jersey. And we saw the Club World Cup, PSG versus Chelsea in the middle of the day, and some of those players struggled. I grew up in North America. A lot of you watching this are North American, whether it's the United States or Mexico or Canada, and we are used to these temperatures. Yes, we are. Um, 85 degrees for us and some humidity. It's not great, but it's certainly not too uncomfortable. I think it's great to go lounge around in, but when you're playing a game, okay, I get it. I get it. This is great news. Why? Because if you really feel it's an issue, you are prioritizing player health. And I applaud FIFA and I applaud the Players Union here, FIFA Pro, and I applaud those involved in making the change if they really feel it's a player safety issue. That's the most important thing here. Player safety, and after that, fan safety. If you feel that fans are going to be subjected to extreme weather, change it. This is a monumental step because FIFA has shown that it only cares about the bottom dollar. I'm sure they're going to have their broadcasting partners in Europe who are not going to be too keen on their games being post midnight. That's why we have games so early around the world and other parts of the world is so in Europe they can have their games at a reasonable hour to watch. It's a massive audience for the world's game. What now they're saying is we know we're going to take a hit and we don't care because we want the product to be good. So I applaud that. And the product being good can mean an array of things. Let's start off with safety. Yes. First and foremost is the safety. I'm sure it wouldn't bother most American players, Mexican players, players in the Caribbean, or players from South America, but it's going to affect a lot of the other players on the other side of the hemisphere. So that's going to, one, lead to safety, and two, lead to the overall product on the field. When guys feel the heat or they feel the temperature, whether that's humidity or just high climate, whatever the case may be, their level drops. It's no surprise. When I was a footballer, the hotter the day, the slower you were. You run faster and harder under the lights for a good reason. I felt like you could run all day. So the product is going to be better. And I'm sure it's probably going to be better for some fans. Listen, it's summertime, absolutely. But people, and I'm concentrating on people in North America because they're hosting it. They're hosting it. So I want North Americans to go out and see this. I want North Americans in Canada to be able to say, you know what? Get out of work at a reasonable hour. I can still make the game. North Americans in Mexico, you know what? I can do this. I can get out there. North Americans in the United States, in some of these cities that are high traffic cities. What do you think it's like getting around in Los Angeles in the afternoon on a weekday, regardless if it's summertime? Huh? What do you think New York is like? Dallas? I mean, the distances you got to travel. So I'm okay with this. And I applaud FIFA, FIFPro, the governing bodies coming to a what looks like a mutual agreement here, even if they are going to take a hit. I still think this is going to be the most successful World Cup in the history of World Cups by sheer numbers. It has to be. 1994 uh, was, until this date, is the most successful World Cup to date. Well, you're going to go to 48 teams now. 48 teams, bigger venues. It's going to be a massive party. It's three countries in this World Cup. It's going to be successful. So I'm glad they're not only trying to prioritize the dollar, but the player health and the product. Because at the end of the day, that's what we want to see. We want to see players stay healthy, and we want to see players produce at the highest level they can. And this hopefully should allow them to do that.